And that is good news for especially those of us who love a good game of cricket. We haven't been able to see cricket in a while. I mean, up front and close to the action. It's going to be right here on our shores this summer. And we will talk about that more later on this morning. I'm expecting shortly the Minister of Sports to join me here, and we will have a conversation about that and what to be expected this summer, CPL and otherwise in terms of cricket. Always on the docket for us, the question of the COVID-19, the vaccinations and all of that. And there's been much spirited debate and not a little political posturing on all sides. And not just locally, but, in other jurisdictions as well. Posturing over the issue of employer-mandated COVID-19 vaccinations. We're coming up with we're seeing a lot of Tamantry lawyers come out of the woodworks as to, rights and all kinds of stuff and constitution and all of that. They're coming out of the woodwork. But I don't know that there's much to debate here. I don't subscribe to anybody losing any rights. And from what I gather from employers and so on, they're not talking about taking away your right. They're letting you keep your rights. As an individual, you have a right to decide what goes in your body. And no employer can take that right away from you. And no employer is planning to take that right away from you as far as I can understand it. However, we must understand that the employers themselves also have rights, and you can't take that right away from them either. So, in the end, if all keep their rights, then we'll be fine, right? You keep your rights, they keep their rights. You keep your rights to refuse to be vaccinated, they keep their right to hire who they want. So everybody go their separate ways and they keep their rights, right? So much of the discourse is being shaped without regard to the law. They're focusing rather on, in some cases, the politics of appeasing apparently irrational public fears or skepticism fueled by social media, a lot of posts. I mean, we talk about, fake news yesterday. There's a lot of it out there. The facts are that mandatory vaccination of all children born, say, in the Bahamas, for example, I mean, it's been in the law for God knows how long. It's mandatory this and mandatory that all over the place, around for a long time. But, hey, I believe in personal and individual and human rights and all of that. I believe in the rights of individuals. I believe in the right of corporations. I believe in all people's rights and everybody's rights. I don't believe in taking away anybody's rights. And I'm happy to hear from some of the lawyers representing corporations and lawyers that are possibly to represent individuals. I'm happy to hear that nobody is intending to take away any rights from any side. So that's a good thing. And we will see how it all plays out. But that's that. Also, just as an update, a number of things we talked about last week that needs to be addressed with so that you get information from the horse's mouth, as we would say. A number of things were raised here on this program, and I wanted to give the people involved the opportunity to respond and I've reached out to some of those institutions, some of those entities, to try and get them to send a representative, and we'll see how that works out, including the customs, and we'll see how that works out, so that they can be in the hot seat themselves, because I don't propose to answer for them, because I would know how. They are in it, and so therefore they are the best people to deal with those matters. And so I'm trying to get the people involved to come and sit with me, and so you can pose the questions that you have posed to me to them, so they can answer. But as we go along through the week, I'll update you on where we are, and the timing, schedule, and so on for that. But just keep that in mind. We haven't forgotten you. We will work with that. Also, I did see a news item last week. Speaking of cricket, that Australia is also heading to the West Indies, and there's also a possibility that we may see some one-day cricket as well. And so let's keep our eyes tuned to that as well. And one of the things that I see popping up all over the place when I look at the news throughout the world, there's a familiar theme that's coming out with regards to vaccination. I started last week by sharing some information from St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where they are about to host their carnival celebrations. I think it starts this weekend, I believe. And they're putting on this one-to-one fete, or something they call it, as part of the carnival celebrations. But in order to attend this fete, everybody must be vaccinated to attend. All right. So that was just one example of something I see popping up all over the place. And I've had discussions with people, in my circles and so on about this. And one of the things I say to them is that governments may not mandate you to do anything. Corporations may not mandate you to do anything, but there are entities out there that are going to make it difficult. It's going to be difficult for you to participate, whether it's in entertainment or business or what have you. It's going to become more and more difficult for persons who are not vaccinated to participate. Even the announcements that came out a few days ago with regards to tourism, and the fact that we will see the first ship coming into our port in July. I think it's the Odyssey, Seabourn Odyssey. Seabourn Odyssey is not going to allow its passengers to interact with passengers and crew to interact with persons who are not vaccinated. So we have a situation where, well, for Odyssey itself, they will make sure that all of their crew members are vaccinated. They will make sure that all of their passengers are vaccinated. And the ports they come to, they will make sure that the people who are servicing them are fully vaccinated. From the port side, from the seaside to the land side. So therefore, the agents for the ship cannot directly deal with the ship if they are not vaccinated. As agent for the ship, all persons dealing with tour operators, taxi drivers, cannot deal with the ship and their passengers if they're not fully vaccinated. So, again, there goes that same theme that's popping up throughout. And so, keep an eye on it, because I see it happening day after day, day after day. And I had said it before, and I'm saying it again. This is what you're going to see happening as you go along, because each entity has a right, whether it be government, private enterprise, or otherwise. They have a right to protect themselves and their space and their employees, and they have a right to provide a safe working environment for the employees of that organization. And so in exercising that right, they're going to do and demand certain things. You have a right to determine what you take or do not take. And in exercising that right, there will be whatever the consequences are, you live with it. All right? That's what we do as adults. We take action, there are consequences, and we deal with it. That's what adults do. And so, so long as nobody infringe on your right, and you have a right to challenge that, and if you think that is the case, you have a right to challenge that. However it turns out, I wouldn't know, because I am nowhere near a legal expert. So that's just my take. As I said, we're going to be today talking cricket. But expect the Minister of Sport to join me later on in a few minutes, and we will have a conversation about sport overall in the Federation, and what this CPL means to us, possibly the ODI, and everything else that surrounds that, even the COVID and the protocols that will be in place for the games that's coming here into St. Kitts and Nevis. Right, so we'll stand by. They just wrapped up a press conference this morning with CPL, and so I take it they'll be making their way here to have that conversation, and we look forward to that as soon as they get here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'll let you join me in conversation on any of those matters you want to talk about while we await the minister here on Frank and Candid. We'll be right back.
Hold on, stop. Think about the drink before you take a drop. Read up on the label on the back. They say science, sugar, low in fat. But don't be fooled by that. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, yeah.
This message is brought to you by Lake Health and Wellbeing.
There is nothing good about jail. I don't want to be here.
My father told me that as far as he was concerned, I could stay in the home forever.
Our children deserve a chance for change. Children make mistakes, and child justice reform can help everyone to address these mistakes appropriately. Instead of sending a child to adult prison, let us give them alternative sentencing. We must divert our children from the court system through a holistic and systematic approach to addressing their offense and their road to rehabilitation. Rehabilitation helps child offenders to grow, change, learn from mistakes, accept responsibility, and make better choices. Reintegration of child offenders into the community after rehabilitation benefits the child, the family, and the community with a more productive citizen. Join the movement to give our children a chance for change. This message is brought to you by the USAID OECS Juvenile Justice Reform Project 2, funded by the United States Agency for International Development. For more information, log on to oecs.org/JJRP.
welcome back to Frank and Candid. I want to share a story here with you. The facts, it came from the Nassau Guardian. The facts are that mandatory vaccinations of all children born in the Bahamas has been in our law since the passing of the Vaccination Act of 1860 under Section 13 of the Act. It is mandatory for every parent or guardian to take every child born in the Bahamas within 6 months after birth to a vaccinator appointed by the Minister of Health to be vaccinated against smallpox. Smallpox in the 19th century had the same impact as COVID-19 in the 21st century, being both highly contagious and deadly. So due to highly publicized information about small numbers of adverse reactions to various COVID-19 vaccines fueled by industry, competition, and sometimes apparent knee-jerk reactions by regulatory agencies or several nations, the anti-vaxxers are having a field day in sowing vaccine skepticism and outright rejection through social media postings. And I know you have seen them. We all have seen them. The facts, however, emerge from studies conducted all over. The most highly vaccinated country in the world right now is said to be Israel. And the infection rates in Israel have dropped significantly after universal mass vaccinations. So the risk of viral outbreaks and breakthrough in a fully vaccinated person, or the risk of transmission from a fully vaccinated person, is infinitely low. And there are even some things I've seen out there where people are just talking about what happened. As a matter of fact, there is a news story coming out this morning about a school in Florida where, based on erroneous information that has been debunked, they're actually telling teachers who are vaccinated that they cannot go near the other students. I thought that was a kind of weird story, but I'm trying to follow that. It was reported on CNN this morning, and there was a lot of discussion on what that was about. But all it was a religious school, I think it was, that had their own opinions on vaccination. And just like you cannot tell someone to be vaccinated, you can't tell someone not to be. And so some teachers decided that they were going to be vaccinated. However, on reporting to work, they were told that if you're vaccinated, they don't want you near their students who are not vaccinated. See where we're going with this? I mean, it's some strange stuff happening out there with respect to this vaccination. But I, for one, believe that it will pass, and we will get through it. We will get through all of this, all in time. All right, we just gotta stay the course, and we have been doing well, with some thanks, and hopefully we will continue on the path we're going, and we will all be safe here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We also have seen what the situation is in Anguilla. Anguilla has, reversed course. Anguilla is back in lockdown as of last Friday for 14 days because of spikes in the COVID. So, lots of things are happening around us. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to Frank and Candid.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Nzinga. Blessed be my beloved African brother. How are you? What's up? How the family?
All doing well. All doing well. What about you?
Good man, good, and the clan is good.
Okay.
No, brother. You see the more that nonsense that this world gonna go into. But and I will, like I said, my stand is for the millionth time. You want to take it, you take it. You don't want to take it, you don't take it. But everything coming consequences are consequences. But and I will say, any establishment on this planet that say, oh, you got to be fully vaccinated to come in the establishment. But that business, our businesses must be boycotted. Must. Don't spend your money with people like that. They have a right to say what they want, you know. But it must be legal too. And then not because something is legal, it's just and right. Because at one time the enslavement of African people was quote unquote legal. So not because something is quote unquote legal, it's right and just. Love it. That's what that do. You said something, brother?
No, go ahead, finish it.
Okay. Yeah. So I am saying the best thing to do, you just educate people. Those who for the vaccine, they educate people. Those who are anti, they educate people, but no lies, no propaganda, anything like that. Let people make up their own minds whether they want to take it, yes or no. You know that what? Can't go on so with the employment in the Federation St. Kitts Nevis right now. You got to up, beloved. We all know that, so the people will say, okay, think about it and do the right thing. For St. Kitts and Nevis, for themselves and their families. But this back and forth and heated, it could get heated reasoning. But you're not got to be telling lies in the process, no.
Okay.
You just educate on each side and let people make up their minds and do what is best for St. Kitts Nevis and for their people. But I'll continue to listen. Keep up the great work, Pan-Africanism and Paris. One love, my beloved brother.
All right, thank you for that. And we will take a quick break. When we come back, the minister has joined me, and we will start our conversation. back to Frank and Candid. I am Tony Nias, and we are joined in studio here by the Minister responsible for sport here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable General Powell. Honorable, welcome to Frank and Candid.
Thank you. Morning to you and to all the listeners. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right. I know you're coming out of a press conference this morning that had some interesting news, but we wanted to have you here so that you can, in case some people missed that, you can share some of the good news with us and my audience. I understand we're getting cricket in St. Kitts. Talk to me about that.
We have a lot of cricket that we'll be having here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We actually are scheduled to have 3 one-day internationals in July by the West Indies tour. But the big news today is twofold. Firstly, that St. Kitts and Nevis has extended the hosting agreement with CPL. What that means is that we have the full rights to the St. Kitts and Nevis franchise that we know as the Patriots for the next 5 years, and the right to host all home matches for the Patriots over the course of the next 5 years. That is the first aspect. And then the second aspect, which is the big news, is that St. Kitts and Nevis will be hosting the entire 2021 CPL tournament. All 33 games will be hosted here in St. Kitts and Nevis at Warner Park. The first match is scheduled to kick off on the 28th of August. And I think everybody's getting excited about it. Not just that we have cricket, but these are difficult times. And we have seen the economic impact, the tremendous economic impact that St. Kitts has benefited from, and the people have benefited from when we host the usual 5 home matches. We now have 33 matches, 4 weeks of cricket, 6 weeks of hotels, and we anticipate tremendous economic impacts on ordinary people here in St. Kitts and Nevis who have had a rough time over the last year.
Well, I know that's an amazing feat. What is it? Is it luck for us, or is it something that we're doing right here as a people and government?
I would go with the latter. It's really a combination of a lot of negotiations. I have been negotiating this almost from the time I was elected and appointed minister with responsibility for sport. But one of the big kicker is really the way in which St. Kitts and Nevis has managed the COVID-19 pandemic. We have, by no shadow of the imagination, done significantly better than the majority of the Caribbean, and certainly better than all of the other host countries for CPL. And so that really gave us a tremendous advantage in terms of hosting it. And 44 cases, I think it is, to date, no deaths, no serious illness. Angola has had more in the last week than we've had total, and they were even better than we were. And so it shows the benefits and the rewards that can come from continued management of the COVID-19 pandemic.
You talk about the venue, Warner Park. Is that the only venue? All games at Warner Park?
All games will be played at Warner Park. However, we do have the advantage of having 6 other test grounds, international grounds around St. Kitts and Nevis that will be utilized for practice purposes.
Okay, now we have the venue. Let's talk about spectators, because that is what they want to know about. So how is that going to work?
Well, outside of CPL, the cabinet would have yesterday taken the decision to allow spectators to attend sporting events, to re-allow them into the venues on a 50% capacity basis. So if the venue can hold 100 people, you allow 50 people in there. And those persons must be fully vaccinated. that applies to all sports across the board. In order to attend, you must be fully vaccinated. You must prove that you're fully vaccinated on entry, and to a capacity of 50%.
So, at the end of the day, in that venue at Warner Park, then every single person on that ground, from cricketer to spectator, officials, all are vaccinated.
Right. So what we're doing is we are creating a bubble for cricket. We're going to do it for the West Indies matches, and we're going to do it for the CPL as well. And from the groundsmen to the cleaners, bus drivers, caterers, anybody entering that bubble is required to be vaccinated.
Which is great. I mean, because we talk about this on the show. As a matter of fact, we mentioned it this morning about how things are going to go that way, to participate in stuff. And I'm happy to know, as a vaccinated person, I would be happy to know that I'm going into a stand where everybody is vaccinated, even the bartender especially. I spend a lot of time with bartenders.
and let me say, fully vaccinated means that 10 days have elapsed since your second dose, in the case of the AstraZeneca. If you took a vaccine that only requires one shot, 10 days have passed since you took that one shot.
Okay. All right. Well, before we continue, let me just give out the phone number just in case in the time we have here, we have anybody that wants to pose a question to the minister. 465-2555 is our local number, and 718-577-2916 is the North American number, if that is more convenient to you. Feel free to join us in this conversation if you have a question for the Minister of Sport with regard to CPL being played in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, the grounds at Warner Park, I don't know how much work has been done there yet. Or if any lately, because we haven't had anything there. How are we looking there?
Warner Park will be ready.
Okay.
Well in advance. We have been doing a lot of work up there. We have been utilizing a lot of resources that actually exist within the staff there at the park. I don't think people have appreciated in the past just how talented our staff are. We have capable plumbers and carpenters and masons and all that amongst our staff, and so we've been able to do quite a bit of work in-house without having to expend monies outside and above our budget. We are in the process right now of redoing the drainage system. So if you go, you'll see a big hole around the outer field, which is actually being filled now. So we're filling it back up. So we're dealing with the drainage, and the Warner Park is generally in a very good state. Maybe a little paint here and there, but we will be ready. One of the things that CPL will be assisting with and will be doing is they will have a team of trained groundspersons, for lack of a better word, forgive me, but they will be coming on from next month, I think it is, to start assessing the pitch. One of the arrangements is that they will also do training with our existing groundsmen to ensure that they're up to scratch and up to the latest technologies, so that we are ready well in advance. Like I said, we have West Indies matches scheduled for July, so we have to be ready for those events.
Okay, we got a caller, so let's go to the call and see what this caller has to say to you. Good morning, welcome to Frank and Candid. Good morning, caller, you're live. Okay, lost that caller. All right, call us back in the time we have. Let's try this one. Good morning, welcome to Frank and Candid.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Morning, the King.
Good morning to the Minister.
Good morning.
And Minister, congratulations to bringing back CPL and what other cricket you could get in the Federation.
Thank you.
We are proud of you with that.
Thank you.
Now, I got a thing for you. Now, you're talking about the vaccination and so on, which I 100% agree with, right? But what I want to ask you, you don't hang out down here at Port Zante a Friday night time?
No, I don't normally be down there on a Friday night, but I have been on occasion.
Yeah, but you see what's going on down here right now? Friday gone, you had about 1,500 people with one band and 3 DJs. And how much of them vaccinated, how much of them had on masks? You know, so I'm just telling you, so I hope when CPL them come, we could host them and not lose them. You understand me? So I want you to look for that down here for me on a Friday night time. Because you know who you could talk to. I tell you, talk about it to the police, the Mr. Samuels and all of them, and nobody doing nothing about it. May know who greasing who. I know I only got sugar cake money. Me got no steak and big lunch money. So look into that for me. But thank you for the opportunity to get back CPL and them in this blessed country ours.
Okay. All right. We can take another call before you answer. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning to the minister and good morning here, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
I'd like to congratulate the minister and the committee for placing another wonderful game at Warner Park. Now, my problem is if we're going to get if we're going to listen to the cricket by radio. Remember, everybody can see to go Warner Park. Everybody maybe can't walk. So I'm just trying to find out about those of us who.
Whether we have the rights to broadcast that? That's what your question is?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Guess we will check on that.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, the games will be played on television as they normally are.
Okay.
And let me say that when we negotiated CPL coming here, it was on the basis that there would be no spectators. Okay. As a matter of fact, although we are now saying we can have 50% capacity, all protocols are subject to our COVID situation. If God forbid we have some sort of outbreak, that situation will change and we may have to say, well, no spectators at all.
Gotcha.
And so it was negotiated on the basis no spectators. Because we've been doing so well and hopefully we maintain that, we've been allowed, not just for CPL but for all sports, to allow 50% capacity.
So the idea is people keep doing well, keep doing what you need to do, and you'll get rewarded, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's take this other call. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're live. Good morning. Okay, we don't have that caller.
Okay.
All right. Good morning. Go ahead.
That's a good thing with the CPL, but right now this is football. I need my man to talk about the football right now. We're going to go back in the park.
Well, call us another program. We'll talk about football.
Well,
unless
I can answer that. So, as I indicated, as of the 20th of April, spectators will be allowed to attend any sporting event in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether it's cricket, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, provided they're fully vaccinated and based on a 50% capacity.
So that's in effect now.
So,
for any
so
event,
as of the 20th,
sport,
right? So the first set, I don't want to confuse people. The first set of second vaccines will start to be administered from next week.
Right.
I myself am scheduled to go next week, Tuesday the 4th, to get my second shot. You're not fully vaccinated until 10 days have passed.
Right.
So when you do the math, 14 days. 14 days have passed. So when you do the math, we've rounded off to the 20th of May. As of the 20th of May, fully vaccinated persons will be allowed to go back into Warner Park to look at football as well.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Talk to me about the quarantine. All the players coming in still subjected to the quarantine.
All players, all media, everybody who is coming in will be subject to the protocols that exist. So there are no exceptions for anybody.
Okay, gotcha. Going back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Okay. I think they're listening to us there. Caller, you hearing me?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Minister Powell, congratulations on that development in terms of hosting these matches, etc.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to see that people should understand that as conditions improve, that the government making adjustments and don't care what they say. I know you all are doing the right thing. But my concern about Warner Park and the pavilion with cricket, Mr. Minister, I believe from the time the place was built, I don't think the sewage system was ever pumped. So you always have, after a day or two, you have a lot of backup in the urinal and in the toilet section. So please, you all look into that and get one of these people who does that kind of work, one of these companies, to ease the system and give up a pumping out there. Yeah, that has been a concern for quite a while. So that's all I have to say for now, but keep on doing the good work, Mr. Powell. Challengers man calling.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that comment. You know, it's feedback from patrons and from persons that allow us to know exactly what is happening and know what we need to address. And so we'll certainly make sure that we look into that to ensure that patrons have the best possible experience.
Okay, let's try this caller. Good morning, welcome.
Morning, brothers. Special morning to Brother Powell. I congratulate the administration on those contracts you signed with the Caribbean Cricket Board. But Brother Powell and Brother Nias, Brother Powell, I got a lot of questions for you. I'm not going to ask them today because you come here talking about sports, which is good. I don't want to, no detour. But Brother Powell, can you promise the people of St. Kitts Nevis that you will come back in the next week or two and any question can be posed to you?
I work for the people and make myself available to the people all the time. So I won't even wait for a whole week. I'm sure I'll be doing some rounds on different media outlets, and I'm open to answering all the questions that the people have to ask, because at the end of the day, we want for everybody to feel comfortable about whatever we're doing.
No, I'm talking about this media house, beloved. This media house. Brother Nias.
Not a problem. If they invite me, I will come.
Brother Nias.
Got it.
That's a new. What about next week, Brother Nias?
Okay, he got the invitation.
Okay, so I'm just listening, and because I got some serious questions for you, Brother Powell.
All right.
Continue to listen. Pan-Africanism our perish. Well, now, beloved brothers.
And you're invited to CPL. Just be vaccinated. Okay, everybody narrow there. All right, we got a caller? Okay. We will take this call and then we will respond. Go ahead, caller. You're live.
Yes, a very blessed morning to you, Mr. Nash.
Good morning.
Along with Minister Powell and all your listeners everywhere. I would like to congratulate St. Kitts for acquiring the right to host the CPL. It's great to see cricket coming back to St. Kitts. And I do hope that the patrons, the cricket lovers of St. Kitts and Nevis will support the game. I really and truly don't like the idea of any sport at all being played in front of empty pavilions. We saw what happened in Bangladesh when the West Indian left-handed middle-order batsman scored a double 100 and helped West Indies win the test match. And that was in front of an empty stadium, which meant that quite a lot of people missed out on a treat of a double 100 by Mr. Kyle Mears. So I think that more can be done to ensure that the stands are filled and more people are present to look at the cricket. Because we don't want to have classic, top-quality entertainment, sporting entertainment in front of empty pavilions. I really and truly think that this is defeating the purpose of sports. I do believe that the time has come when we need to move away from that and ensure that the pavilions are full to capacity, and we have maximum amount of people looking at top quality cricket. So I do believe that greater effort should be made to ensure that the standard is filled.
Okay.
So again, I congratulate St. Kitts for attaining the right to host the games, and I do hope that the games are supported by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. God bless.
Minister Powell?
I fully share the sentiments of the caller. I think it's really a shame where top class cricket or any other sport, it could be football, has to be played in front of empty stadiums. But we are where we are in terms of a global pandemic, and health must be priority number one. And so I agree, yes, a lot more work needs to be done. And in saying so, a lot more people need to be vaccinated. We have the vaccines available. There are persons in countries around the world who are desperate to get vaccines, and we have, supplies right here. If we are able to achieve that 70% herd immunity number between now and August, who knows? We might be able to say, well, 100% capacity will be allowed. But we have to take it step by step. And everything will depend on the number of persons that get vaccinated, fully vaccinated. And so I use the opportunity to urge everybody, not just for cricket or football, but to see general reductions in restrictions that we have, and to see what we keep talking about, opening up, more people need to vaccinate.
Yeah, I know we're talking, Mr. Minister, about CPL, but what would you say is the state of the grassroots cricket in our federation, and what can the CPL do for that?
I'm happy you asked that, because we are about to make some announcements in terms of our grassroots program. We have recently, as in within the last couple of months, rejuvenated the Len Harris Cricket Academy. A new board has been put in place to oversee the operations there. We've also brought on a new coach at the academy, and a new program has started. We have had commitments from our local cricket association, from Cricket West Indies itself, as well as CPL, in terms of their support financially, technically, in terms of gear, and we have a number of commitments from private sector companies who have been involved in the past, who are looking to come on board and assist in that. That, coupled with the developing school cricket tournament or program that we're working on. We've not been able to have school competitions, but we're looking to resume those. And so between those two things happening, I think the future cricket in St. Kitts and Nevis is looking very good.
Okay, great. Let me take one or two more calls before we end. Let's go to this caller. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Brother Tony.
Good morning.
And good morning to the Rebel General Powell, Minister of Sport.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, General, yes. Now, I want to commend the Ministry of Sport to bring back CPL, because I think it's a great investment to the Federation. And you know that we're in a COVID situation right now, and still we got to be careful. I know that we ain't have no community spread as yet, but I believe that we could get 50% of the people going to the park and support the cricket. And according to what you say, if everybody go and take the vaccine and we get the 70% we want, well, I believe that the gate could shut back. But we still got to be careful, because we don't know who coming in illegally and will come to the park and affect people who are there. So I just want to commend you and the hard work you're doing in the Ministry of Sport and Culture, and I would like to see the country move forward, going forward. You know, because can't do the grassroots sport and all the cricket and everything now. I don't listen to the news, the sport news, and I don't hear the cricket, the grassroots cricket and so, right? But what about with St. Kitts, Nevis and Mountchat and all those? I know we're in a COVID situation. All those situations, the Leeward Island tournament. I remember we used to go that.
Yeah.
I see that. I see nothing taking place like that now.
Leeward
So I just want to commend you on behalf of your work in sport and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right. You know, in local parlance, when you say throwback, that's a free game, right? Everybody, we gotta take a final call. Good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Powell, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to ask one simple question. Why the stadium lights have to be burning all night? Not every night, but I witnessed it Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then it's on different nights after that. Why the stadium lights have to be burning all night? Up to when football on, the football stadium lights on, the cricket stadium lights on. What is that about? And then all of you now going to have to be paid the consequence. And when you look around, see fuel increase, the light bill gone up. Anyway, that's all I want to ask.
Okay.
Let me thank the caller for that comment or that question. It is one that I have myself asked, and so I'm happy you've brought it to my attention. What I can say is the lights on the cricket field are being utilized when we have football for physical distancing purposes. When you have a first match being played, the participants for the second match utilize the cricket side of the venue in order to warm up and to do the stretches and all of that, and so the lights are required for that purpose. I myself have noticed that the lights have been left on long after the football has finished on several occasions and raised it. I know it has stopped, perhaps it has started again, and so thank you for giving me the heads up. I'll make the necessary requirements to ensure that we are conserving the bulbs and the energy that we're using up there. So thank you for raising that.
All right, and that with that call, you want to wrap first. Tell us what you want to leave us with before you go.
You know, I know it's exciting to hear CPL is coming, the whole tournament. As a friend of mine said recently, we're all suffering from COVID fatigue. Yeah. We're just tired. It's been a really hard past year, a little over a year. And I know a lot of people are struggling. Things are hard for a lot of people. I'm hoping that by having some cricket here can bring a smile to people's faces. We'll do whatever we can to see how we can allow people to come into the park as affordably as possible. But I also want people to understand that this is an opportunity for so many of our people, especially a lot of those who have been out of work for the last year, to get opportunities. It's 33 matches. It's a 4-week tournament. There are going to be opportunities for bus drivers, for transportation, for caterers, for cleaners, for additional staff, volunteers. There's so many opportunities that are coming. This is one of the reasons why we have negotiated so hard to get CPL to agree to come here, so that our people can benefit from the tangible and economic benefits that flow. When you think about the hotel sector, you have I think well over 200 persons who will be almost resident in hotels for a 6-week period. Right. Which means I am pretty sure that the Marriott and whoever else are going to need to bring back on additional staff. I think based on the number called in the press conference this morning, there'll be over 1,000 nights stay here during that period. It is just before the October period when we say we want to really open back up. This is an opportunity to get an extra 2 months lead on that, and so there are tangible benefits to the people. When the players and the cohort and the media and all that finish the quarantine period, we know they like to lime, bars and restaurants, and so will benefit. Yep. Hopefully they have to bring back on additional staff. We know people, the 50% who are going into the park, we know they want to look good, who want to get their hair done, and there's so many ripple effects in terms of economic activity that come from this. It will be tremendous, and so that is really one of the reasons we've fought so hard to bring back CPL, and particularly the opportunity to have the entire tournament But folks, we must do it in a safe manner. We must do it in a way that does not break down all the good work that we've done thus far. And that is why we're saying all persons participating in the bubble, whether you're a cleaner, whether you're a commentator, you must be vaccinated to enter that bubble. We're saying that you're expected to carry on all the usual protocols that we're accustomed to: wearing your mask, hand sanitizing, recording your information for contact tracing. All of that will be required. It's for your safety, and we see as we grow and we do things, we do these things, rewards will come. Right. So it's an exciting time for all of us. There is sufficient time for everybody to get both vaccination doses between now and then. So I encourage everybody who wants to participate in that bubble to do so. Even if you're not interested in cricket, please go out and get vaccinated. There will be other rewards that you may want to take advantage of. Like I said, from the 20th of May, we will be allowing patrons to go back into all sporting activities, including going to look at football in Warner Park, provided they're fully vaccinated. Again, there are rewards to participate in these exercises. It's been a hard time, but we're now seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I just want people to know that things are getting better, opportunities are coming, as you see, and I want everybody to be able to participate and benefit from these opportunities.
All right, and with that, thank you, Minister Powell, for taking some time with us to share the information. Join me tomorrow for another edition of Frank and Candid. I am Tony Nyers. Have a great rest of the day.
Citizen Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide